Hey guys, Kelly here again with a video on volume formulae. So again, it's really important that you make a note of these in your exercise books because we'll be referring back to them throughout our measurement topic. With the units in volume, it's always that unit. So again, millimeters, centimeters, hectares, inches, cubed instead of squared, which we looked at when we talked about area. Okay, so first up we look at uniform solids, and uniform solids just means that throughout that solid, it's going to have that same cross section. Okay, so if we have a look at this cube here, if I cut this down here and just sliced into it, it's going to have that same A1 face to it. Okay, same with this rectangular prism here. If you think about like a bar of butter, if you slice that down, it's still going to have that square end shape there. So the general formula for a uniform solid is going to be the area of that cross section, or A1 in this instance, multiplied by the length of that prism. Okay, so if we have a cube over here, if we look at A1, so it's going to be A1, which is the cross section, multiplied by the length. So if we look at what A1 actually is, or that area of A1, it's going to be width multiplied by the height multiplied by the length. And you may already know that, so length multiplied by height multiplied by width is the area of this one, is the volume of this one. If we look at that rectangular prism, we can take that same formula. So A1 multiplied by the length of that prism. So A1 again is width multiplied by height multiplied by the length, and that's going to give you the volume. Some other uniform solids, so we have a cylinder here and a triangular prism. So with this cylinder, you can see if I cut along those dotted lines there, it's going to have that same cross section, which is going to be that A1. So if we work out the area of A1 and then multiply it by the height, which is also the length of it, if you have it tipped on its side there. So the area of A1 is just the area of a circle, which we looked at in the previous video. So pi r squared multiplied by the height gives you the volume of a cylinder. Again, the same in this triangular prism. If you can see where I've put those green dotted lines, if you slice down there, it would have that same triangular face to it, which means it has the same cross section. So again, this is A1 multiplied by the length, and so A1 is equal to B multiplied by H divided by 2, so that's the area of a triangle multiplied by the length. Okay, sometimes we have tapered solids and spheres, which are a little bit different. So tapered solids, again, we've got a cross section here, so we have to work out the area of cross section, multiply it by the length, but then we're just going to be taking a third of that when we look at cones and pyramids. So the cone here, we're going to have a third multiplied by A1, which is that cross section part, multiplied by the height. So I've changed the length here to height because we're going up instead of across. So this is going to be a third multiplied by pi r squared, which is the area of that circle or the base of that cone, multiplied by the height. And similar here in this square-based pyramid. So we'll work out the area of of that square, which is s squared. So it's going to be a third multiplied by A1, which is the area of that cross section, multiplied by the height. This is going to be a third, so s squared multiplied by the height. And spheres, again, are a little bit weird. So we've got 4/3 multiplied by pi r cubed in here instead of squared, which we had in the surface area of a sphere. So this has the cubed and the 3 in it, which should help you remember that one. All right, catch you in class, guys.